Hi, just wanted to check in. So this is Michelle, founder of Naru, or co-founder. I think my other co-founder will kill me if I say founder. And I just wanted to share this beautiful sunset behind me. Like, wait, look at that. It's gorgeous. Yeah. I'm so excited because actually we've signed up for this hackathon. That's going to happen on Saturday and Sundays on the 28th to the 29th of August. It actually starts at like 8 a.m. in the morning and it goes until like throughout midnight. There's like these mentoring sessions at like 12 a.m., which is absolutely ridiculous because I'm like, how would you even have energy? I know I would, but it's crazy to know about like the life of entrepreneurship, like hacking away at something that you're so passionate about. And yeah, I'm really keen to see what this hackathon has in store for us. So actually, we've just met like three other group members, other than me and Hari. So we have Sang, Gaia, and Ashwin. So they're all really cool people, and I'm so happy that they reached out when we posted just publicly about us looking for a team. I think they all, offer something that we don't have as co-founders. So me and Hari, I think we're always more focused on like the technical side of things and like how things are going to work, but we have recently just realized that knowing the market or knowing like who you're trying to solve the problem for is a really, really crucial aspect, and especially in building a product, because the product is catered around helping the person. And if you don't know what the person is struggling with, then most likely this dream product in your mind is going to help no one. And we definitely learned that through a lot of trial and error. And even right now, we're trying to shift Naru into including more of that validation into our workflow, and not just code, design all day all night, and killing ourselves for it. I think of course we've learned a lot over the past like 6 months, and we've come really far on our journey. We've all like improved a lot in our own expertise, myself in like UI UX design, product design, even research, and himself as like a software developer. And that's even given us like a head start to apply for jobs or to show like the industry like what we've done over the past months. And yeah, I think there's always that way of pro and cons, because as a technical founder you might want to like develop some skills personally because you know that this skill will be really helpful for you to develop the product, but you can't go rushing into it too quickly without thinking about what type of product you want to give to customers. And of course, knowing that and having a clear direction of what customers would want all comes down to speaking to them or asking them or perhaps surveying them, and even talking to your friends about the idea. Because yeah, I don't know, I think it just took me a lot of trial and error to finally like realize that a lot of it really comes down to, you don't need a huge marketing budget to know that your product is going to spread like wildfire, and that investors will going to come to you. I think when you nail down making something that genuinely caters for someone's needs, you help the person. And what better word of mouth is there, what better spread of your idea is there than from helping a person and improving their life? Because once you touch them, they're going to touch other people, and that's where you build your network. And yeah, I think coming down to that, like I did an interview this morning with a really good friend of mine, Stephanie. Shout out to her because she gave me the most amazing first interview ever for Naru, and it's been so great to meet her on Zoom. I've personally met her in real life like once or twice, but like it's been so long since then, perhaps from last year. And yeah, I think I basically just, reached out to like my Instagram followers, basically just my friends, and told them like, I wanted to interview like a few people, and if anyone would be interested to speak to me about like personal development, how they're going and all that. And I actively do speak out on social media about, what I'm working on. And I think some people were a bit curious, because, I don't really pitch that much to my friends, but I do show them that I've been working on something. So it's just like this mystery question mark, I think, for a lot of them. And that gives them the ability for me to reach out and say, okay, like if you want to help me, I can tell you more about what I'm doing. And that also, takes them on board, gives them something to like work on, to look forward to when they're, in a like friendship with you. And yeah, I think it was really helpful to speak to her, and I think it made me and her both really happy to know that, we vibed along so well. We had so many great ideas, and I learned so many really cool things from her. And I can't wait to like hop on board and, do my other interviews. I think I'm really gonna learn like a lot of things from like this experience. And I want to give another shout out to David from Thinkubator, who actually sparked this whole process of me double thinking about why I was doing Nauru and who I was doing it for. Was it really for myself, or was it for other people? If Nauru didn't exist as an app right now, where would it exist right now? Where would it exist in this world? If that answer is just in my head and it only existed between me and Hari, then you're not building a product that will help the world. You're building a product to satisfy yourself. And so I think that realization really hit me hard. And at the beginning, I felt so ashamed because I was thinking, oh my God, like as a designer, how could I have missed out on this really important detail? Like, why didn't I perform the interviews? Why didn't I go through, those lean UX steps of validating your idea, designing it, iterating it? I knew all of those concepts, but I never really understood like the reason why you do them, and also how natural or how unnatural it is for you to skip a few of those steps, because people start to question, the validity of the things that you're talking about. You might say, oh, we designed this and this feature, and they might ask you, okay, then what informed you to design these features? You can't just say, oh, I woke up from a dream and I thought that this feature would be beneficial. Of course you can bring your own experiences, but you also need to be validated by other people supporting your experiences, and you being a person in humanity. You're not just living in this world by yourself. So like coming out that shell and relating to the people around you, sharing your own struggles. If it's a product that you're building that you see yourself using, how can you also relate to the struggles of other people, and what other struggles are they facing as well? Because inevitably you're building something that will help more people than just yourself. And so yeah, it's a good reminder to have, if you're thinking of starting an idea on something. And I really do encourage you, if you even have like an inkling of something you might want to do in your life, whether it be like starting a podcast, or writing a book, or like starting something that's inherently new and comes from like a purpose that you feel from within. Ask other people about it and tell them about it, get their feedback and see what they think. And I guarantee you more people will support you than not. And it's not because it's a bias, like it's your friends, of course they're going to support you. It's not just that. I feel like everybody gets more inspired about like listening to people spread about their ideas. You can really inspire someone by just being that, brave, and like being able to put yourself out there and say, yeah, I might be wrong, maybe I'm the only person with living with these struggles, and perhaps there is no cure-all kind of thing. But as long as you are trying to at least show yourself up there and ask about what other people are struggling with a lot more often, you'll probably find other people with similar struggles to you, especially if that's something that you've been dealing with for a long time. And so I encourage you to just, like talk about it. Talk about that new book that you want to write. Talk about that new novel that you are like thinking about in your head. I'm just talking about books right now, but of course you can go into venturing to other things. Talk about that fun little project that you might want to code over the weekend. And yeah, I think with any new venture, with any new story that you're gonna set yourself up with, always have the supporting characters. Don't make yourself the only hero going through this long treacherous journey by yourself, facing all these enemies and like people pulling you down, because like when you see them as enemies, when you see them as people you need to like defeat or like sort of prove wrong, or like not try to get them to understand, and more like trying to say to them that like, oh, you just watch me until I get there, well then the more you're sort of making the forces go against yourself. And when you do that, it becomes a lot more hard to get there by yourself, because everybody is kind of looking at you like, what are you doing? Like why are you doing this? And if you're not trying to use your empathy to bring them on board, then a lot more people are probably going to doubt you than support you. And it's easy to switch between the two, because people will always feel a sense of doubt. Even when I tell somebody for the first time, there's always doubt in their eyes, in their tone, when I tell them that I'm working on something, especially when I go straight into it without any context at all. I'm thinking, this is the problem, this is the solution, we've done this, I've come so far, I've worked so hard, I've had countless sleepless nights. They're just looking at you like, and how does that matter to me? Like, and so what? What about your frivolous idea do you think it can actually come about from anything? Like, unless an investor just like whips in and like swoops in and like gives you a lot of money, it literally doesn't benefit them to know about that. What does benefit them is you asking them about what are you struggling with? Like, can you see yourself relating to some of these problems that my product might solve? And if you do, then what other solutions have you tried? Or like, what problems do you find with those solutions? And when you bring them on board, they feel like they're in the active problem-solving space with you. And that's when you gain the supporting characters in your story. That's when you gain people's interest to bring on more ideas to the table, experiment with something themselves just to tell you about it after thinking about it for a long time. They'll come up with like suggestions that you might have never heard of, and I think that's just beautiful, because you don't want to be the only character in a story anyways. Supporting characters are what makes a hero. And if you're not trying to save like a lot of people and you're just putting yourself out there all alone, then what are you really doing? What are you really doing it for? And I hope you all the best, like regardless of what direction you wish to take this, or what you've journeyed on sort of by yourself. But if you did learn anything, then yeah, let me know, and hopefully I'll post this sometime soon. Bye.